Hello, thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Letter. And it's just kind of a visual novel, I guess you could choose your outcome and try not to die, because you don't want to die in this game. And this game is pretty spooky. I ain't picked it up in a few days from the first video, so we continue. Basically, what left off. A hand lightly taps my cheek, and something cold is suddenly being pressed to the back of the head. The icy sensation spreads throughout the area, giving me an uncomfortable feeling.
Isabella?
Oh, we didn't die. The fog immediately lifts from my mind the moment I recognize the voice. My eyes snap open. Thought looking down at me is Rose. Another woman beside her, but my attention is too focused on my co-agent. Rose's posture just screams worry. I can't help but feel bad. A wave of dizziness washes over me as soon as I try to get up, forcing me to lie back down. Luckily, the feeling subsides after a few seconds. With a little assistance from Rose, I push myself up. Up. She hands me an ice pack and gesture for me to press it where I suspect a small bump.
All right, Isabella, where are we?
We're in a castle.
The Ermengarde mansion. Why? Ow, my head.
And the date today?
The date? This is confusing.
October 21st?
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
15, 14, 13, 12. No, that's wrong. Why are we doing this?
She's just checking if your injury is in any way serious.
This time my curiosity regarded the woman standing beside Rose. It's impossible to overlook her. And kind of favors Kate Beckinsale. And here I thought Rose is already tall. Who is she anyway? One of the remaining cleaning crews? But how primarily dressed is she? That ain't how it is said. I don't think anyone will want to clean in a suit. Her eyes flinched between me and Rose, considering us with an almost unreadable expression. I can't help but fold my arms protectively over myself as she does. She may be far from a cleaning crew, but she certainly looks like a superior.
Just do it, please.
Do what? I am both, but everything she has asked.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance.
Oh, she wanted us to count.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. The memory is a little fuzzy, but the attic
There was someone, Rose. In the attic.
Yes, it was. We seen them in the first episode, which is on my channel. Check it out.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews.
No, it was dead person.
The boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last-minute...
No, not any of those. I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first place.
Okay, they both shocked. Did I say something? I was quickly cast an apology smile at the woman before a silence. It's a saleswoman smile. Okay, should I show this to troublesome clients or just avoid the trouble? It's also the same one she gives me when I'm done something particularly absurd. Her eyes are serious when she turns back at me. Yep. She takes both of my shoulders, gently squeezes it as much as patience as she...
As much as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads up of your arrival, I didn't really get a call from you.
Okay, who was it?
Signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call. Isabella, I'm going to ask again. Are you really all right? What happened?
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry. I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's... whoever it is. Then I must have tripped on a rug or something on the way down. Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open.
Could have been somebody in a
We are
Halloween
so
costume.
going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose.
Perhaps it is a concussion.
Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance.
No, I'm fine. I'm okay, Rose. I can work.
Wait. Hold your horses, Rose. I can't just miss an important sale. An extremely minor bump. I had worse when I was a kid.
Besides, if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house. Alone.
Well, the also part where I may lose that bonus. Of course, it's money. Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return the cold compress to her. I have to use the staircase railing to steady myself, but I feel
See?
fine.
I'm A-okay.
The two of them exchange worried glances. I bite my lower lip in anticipation.
All right, you in.
Of course we win. I smile and threatens to... Oh, she's
If I
threatens
see
to
that you
smile.
aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
Okay.
Clear as day, ma'am.
You insisted. But remember what I said. First sign of you looking not okay, and
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
you shouldn't downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
It could be. Who knows? I'm sure we find out in this episode. Oh, she coughed. The woman is looking expectantly at the two of us, her stare making me shrink back a little. She isn't intimidating. Well, she is, but not in a scary negative way. Far from it, actually. Her demeanor simply commands an air of suspicion. I hate even saying that. In a driftwood world, a younger me would have probably wished to be like her. The lack of response as she coughed again, lifting a trimmed eyebrow at me in question.
My sincerest apologies, Mrs.
Is she a owner?
Miss McCulloch.
Oh,
Marianne
Miss.
McCulloch.
Miss McCullough. Oh, she gives me a card. She hands a business card. Interior designer. Oh, probably she's someone interested in the mansion for the 17th century influences. Could be. Despite her hearsay and remaining uninhibited for years, the manor's original fittings and furniture have been kept intact. I suppose some people find that tip to the past. After all, with what its offers, the place could be a haven for people loving to live somewhere in the classic
Miss McCullough,
era.
I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough. In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting.
Thanks. There's no need for it, though. I just dropped by for a quick survey of the place.
Yeah, just
I
go
thought I
help
should
yourself.
check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
Oh, Rose's confusion is impossible to me when she glances at me. Now we turn with an equal perplexed look. And against my better judgment, I brought out the first question that comes to
I'm
mind.
sorry. Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. A flash of irritation crosses her face, but instantly disappears under a massive professional detachment.
Yes. Hannah Wright? She hired me to handle the interior design for their new home.
This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
It is, but
She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix an awkward situation without offering someone. We check with a supervisor. Those few moments have given me enough time to clear my head and any nervousness of confusion.
It is, ma'am, but we weren't aware the mansion has already been sold.
What do you mean?
I almost flinched when she turned her gaze on me, but I stand my ground. Besides, it isn't like I haven't dealt with awkward situations like this before. I may screw up at times, but that doesn't mean I haven't learned a thing or two in the 5 years.
The mansion is indeed for sale, ma'am. Today's the open house, in fact. However, we haven't heard anything from the higher-ups that a deal has already been closed for this particular property.
Yeah, 'cause I would got
If
paid.
you'd like, my co-agent and me can check with them right now.
She nods extremely in deep thought after I finished. She appears to be a reasonable person anyway, given the proper explanation she surely understands.
I thought something looked odd. Excuse me, I need to call my secretary.
Thank you for your assistance, Miss Santos.
Bye. This seems to be the end of it, but Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. I also don't miss the thumbs up she gives me for doing a good job. Still, I already prepared myself to dial a number to office to check. I will be very frustrated if for some reason something has already been decided. That's a whole new level of unfair. Moments later, Miss Carter returned looking a little frustrated but in apology. I feel a little sorry for having to go through
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure. And Isabella? I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those.
in the car.
Can you please get it for me?
Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch and tosses me a
And
set of
hurry!
keys.
We've still got a few minutes to double check those papers.
Okay, got it.
Two of them disappeared behind the power door. The departure brings with a stillness to keep me company. Okay. Alone like this, that's impossible not to think of what really happened. I wish the memory isn't as exclusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose always said she didn't receive a call from me. Was it just paranoia, a temporary lapse of having heard all those tales about the place? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such so I can work in peace, except a small part of me mind beg to differ, and if I'm going to be completely honest with myself, I want us more than to leave this place. I don't know what it is, and I don't want to know. The key Rose had just handed me dig into my palm at jagged edges, creating shallow ridges on my skin. It's a reminder of what I still need to do. Hugging my blazer close to my body, I exit the house. Just a few more hours. Sell the house and get the money. That's how it goes. Spooky shit. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion front yard at this time. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed up to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses. The necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold. Okay, that's all I need to hear of that sentence. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby in the stories. Those birds will have a field day. The mumbling among themselves, looking at the escape arcade occasionally with some alluring about whose mansion has the whatever, it's too fancy for a boy from Kentucky. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased of being ordered around, but what can they do?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos.
Need another button up there, lady. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner.
We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Yeah, just give me a group, why don't you?
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
The ground floor, the basement, or did I miss something? The first floor would be the one you walk in the front door, this guy, and then the second floor would be up here. Don't get it, this one. Oh, hell with it. I ain't that fancy to understand that.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
Must be a newie couple.
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I
Got
did.
jealous. They must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before, some magazine or television show, I can't remember, but then again, most of her guests had likely ended up on the news, one way or another. For people who are popular, though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I say he's basking in the attention. Both of them. I think they are brother and sister if I wasn't for the public display of affection. Yeah, that game's gonna go though. The matching rings on the figures just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is to get the deal closed. And the owners can even think of canceling the listings. I just hope one of these people in mine or Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, with papers in hand, I'll lead the way. October 21st. When they aren't whispering among themselves, they're going ooh, ah over everything. From how the restoration proceeds went to the history of the place, I answered them all, more than happy. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of wherever the hell we at in this town knows about
Some
it.
of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty.
That's nice.
Even the glass thing. Colorful ones. Oh,
That
I
thing?
don't know, but you get the idea.
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I stop talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
It is splendid, ma'am. But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of the conversation gets lost in chatter of the companions. I don't know what to make any assumptions yet, but the sheer interest is enough to give me some sensible hope. Oh please, let this guys be the one. Eventually our group reaches the kitchen. Oh, that's a big kitchen, and it could be like magic going on over there, because it looks like something you would see in Hocus Pocus. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort have been put in to retain. Ooh, a trap door too. The open heart at the end of the room is particular, looks amazing. I know, I agree, it does. Only singing fairy tale books, yep. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of the complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks and how much a pain in the ass cleaning this, still managed to pull it off, or make it look
The
presentable.
highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
What's underneath of
Oh, don't say anything yet! An underground wine cellar.
it? Okay, this is the first time the guy in the gray speaks up. Mr. Luke White, my memory supports. His sudden attention catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his life has shown a genuine interest in this place. But this time something lights up in his eye at the mention of the undercroft. What's so interesting about the basement? I don't understand rich people sometimes. By now he just gives me the impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I always found it cute whenever I see children act that way. On a grown man, not so much. It's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Oh, that's a lot of wine.
Truly.
Or vodka.
And the room. How was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
Is that a thing you have to do? I thought the bottle does that.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Makes
Oh,
sense, don't it?
Love, didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard?
Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big
If
enough?
it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
He's thinking now. Oh, she's happy. I may not completely understand how these two people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer. Are these characters? Branching tree, relationships. I guess they are. I ain't tell you about throwing that. Just checking. They must play a main part in the story. Can't wait to tell those. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than a half hour, we're able to cover almost every room. That's a lot of time in a big house. Funny, the first time BRC has used surveyed the property, I've kept complaining about how big it is. Maybe this is just excitement. When we reach the power, however, an odd feeling waves over me. It starts off as small goosebumps and it sounds like goosebumps. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing looking in the corner. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway.
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me.
Let them sit while we retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. Probably just caught Becca's cold. I left alone for a good while. The same words spilling out of my lips, and it's not until a hand touches me.
Hello? You there? Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you! Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Yeah, I say it
Not a
is.
problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker! Anyway, Isabel, right?
She favors that lady. in the
Isabella,
picture.
actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hannah. Call me Hannah. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
Do you pay cash? You get in next day? How it works, ain't it? My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see, but we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she has tasted a particularly sour
Oh,
lemon.
please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem. And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
Oh god, that stings, don't it, to a lot of old ladies, I say.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong
No
with having
offense to
cats
old
here, ma'am,
ladies.
Hannah.
With cats.
I'm
you
sure
know.
there's more
Cats
than
are
enough
cool.
space here if you want pets.
Perhaps she is not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in?
Well, I'm more of a dog person. But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon, and it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
We actually have a process. I don't really think that would be or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to what would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to winch when her nails dig into my shoulder. I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McConey, who only gives me a apologetic smile.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through. Old man Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do this.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk.
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a
Gotta
good
have
word
to
to your
sting, don't
superiors too, and... What's this?
A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face, turning to her husband. It's that letter.
That's, an interesting work of art.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this girl.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with... oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as... dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend. You should have seen it, Marianne. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with all walls once
Everybody's
we get
shocked.
started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do we mean? Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess up. I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I end up
That's good to
though.
hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with?
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
Smile back on her face when she turns and hands me a straight piece
I
of
would
paper.
still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, anyway, as I was saying.
I don't hear the rest of what she was saying after that. I can only stare down at the paper. It's that one we found in the attic.
Isabella? You're looking pale.
I didn't even notice when Rose Group joined the power. I want nothing more than to say no, I'm not alright. I want to leave this place because I remember everything. The letter and the woman in the attic. It's
The letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them that without looking like I'm gone mad? Show the letter to Rose. Don't show the letter. Well, I might as well take other people with us, right? I blurted out it before I could think twice about what I'm going to say.
We need to get out of here.
Most cast a nervous glare at the people in the room. Most are still engaged in conversation with their peers, but those curious enough to turn their heads in the group direction have been given her trademark saleswoman smile. A tight expression is on her face.
Isabella, we've already had a conversation about this weeks ago. Those...
And I'm telling you that it's not. I thought it was just nothing, but isn't this letter proof enough?
She gently reaches out, put the paper off my hand. Without even taking a glance, she folds it back
Look,
neatly.
I'm really getting worried about you. I know you want to see this open house through, but your condition is more important. Give me a few minutes to wrap things up here, and I'll drive you to the nearest home.
No! You don't understand! But this place isn't, and you're being stubborn about it!
Before Rose could open her mouth for a restore, a hand lands on both us, so just pulling two of us to...
Now, ladies, what seems to be the problem here?
Nothing, sir. I just had to clarify a few things with my colleague.
Well, it certainly seems intense. A smile fits the two of you better, in my opinion. Especially darling little Lily here.
He gives my shoulder a gentle squeeze while and then smile spreads across his face.
Isabella, sir.
Of course. But my point still stands. And with two beautiful ladies here.
And I'm sure little Lily here
I
would
got here
certainly
fast.
appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
Jealous. Pressure on my shoulder lifts as soon as those words leave his eyes flips. It's almost impossible to miss the displeased frown on Miss McCooney's face. The realization that I might lose his sale because of my outburst instantly dawns on me. Rose will be beyond pissed.
I think I need to step out for a...
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. It caused trouble to Rose and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches...
Isabella, wait!
Now she stops us. A fancy what? Apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler Softer.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day.
That's true.
And look,
She hesitated, completely thrown off before sneering her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper, that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back to me and takes, nevertheless, more as an automatic response. I throw it away if I can, but I have this nagging feeling that one or another it'd find its way back to me, regardless of what I do
Rose,
about it.
this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind
What?
stops.
Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
Yeah.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you... But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
Give me an option, say no. She claps her hand together in front of her eyes, pleading for understanding. And I do not understand. To some extent, that doesn't mean I feel any less awful. Whether at myself or at the unlucky situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
Just step aside.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
They laugh, and that was kind of funny too. Talking and laughing like this is easy to forget. Little things you learn to appreciate, I
So,
guess.
Are we good?
Oh yeah, we're good. I'm still not okay with it, but yeah, Lowe's has a point. Now better for me to step out of this one for
I
now.
won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something.
Please, just stay put.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that mine. At least wait for me to call someone who will fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the fore. A few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight. Others can be seen a mile in the priceless antique decorations. One group of elders gathers some ways across from me is occupied in a friendly banter about which one would cost more to buy. A little argument here and occasionally laughter and teasing. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. Rose is probably why I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help. Speaking of, I should call Ash. Well, that is where I'm leaving this episode. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a like. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Appreciate the support. See you next time. Thank you for watching.